Maggie from backtothelandliving.com, and today I want to show you how to make a dry erase wall calendar out of an old window. So I decided to make one because I'd like to have a big calendar on my wall just to keep myself organized and to be able to see everything I have to do. And I was looking online for some, and they can get pretty expensive, so I decided to make my own. And I made mine out of an old window because I had one and I liked the farmhouse feel that it gave, but you can make one also out of a picture frame or an acrylic sheet from the hardware store. But I'm going to show you how to do it with a farmhouse window. For this project, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a window or a picture frame or whatever you decide to use. You're going to need a ruler. I like this plastic ruler because you can see through it, so it makes it really nice for cutting and it's long, but you could use any ruler that you have. You're going to need to print out the words that you want to have on your calendar, so I printed out the month and the to-do and the days of the week for tracing later. You're going to need a pair of scissors, some black acrylic paint or whatever paint that you have that's black and the color you want to have on your calendar, some painter's tape, a fine tip paintbrush, some electrical tape, or you could use some chalkboard tape from the craft store, an X-Acto knife or some way to cut your tape, and a dry erase marker. So to begin this project, you're going to want to start with a clean window. And then the first thing is to draw on your grid. So on the front side of your window, so the side you want to be writing on in the end, draw your grid with your dry erase marker. Use your ruler to make sure it's nice and square. I did each of my calendar boxes 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch, but just do whatever measurements work for your size window. After you have your grid drawn on, you're going to flip your window over to the back side. And this is the side that you're going to put the electrical tape on, and those are going to be the lines for your calendar. So to do this, you're going to roll out your electrical tape onto a surface that you are going to cut on, and take your ruler and cut a nice straight line, and then take that strip of electrical tape and put it on your window for your lines. So when you just put it on nice and straight and use your fingernail to push it on so there's no white bumps on the other side. You don't want to pull the electrical tape when you're putting it on the window. I did this at first and it ended up the next day shrinking because it shrunk back to its original size. So just put it on, you can stretch it a little bit, but try not to pull it too much or it'll look different the next day. So put on your electrical tape in both directions to make your grid. And after you have it all on, make sure you go over it with either like a credit card or your fingernail and just get it nice and adhered to the window. Now that your calendar grid is all on the window, you're going to flip it back over so you're working on the front of your window, the side you want to be writing on in the end. And you're going to take the words that you want on your calendar, so month, the days of the week, to do, things like that. I printed mine just off the computer. I just went on to Word and typed out and picked a font that I liked and made sure it was the right size and just printed it out. So just print out the words that you want, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut them out and then tape them onto the front of your window. And use painter's tape so that it doesn't leave anything on the window. And you also want to make sure that when you tape it on, you're not covering up any of the words because you're going to need to see through the back side of your window to those words. So put the words on where you want them to be and tape them on. After you have your words taped on, you're going to flip your window over to the back side again, and you're going to take your paint and paint over those words. So you'll be able to see through slightly, and if you can't see through well enough, you could always put it against another window so there's more light coming through, but I could see through fine. And just take a fine tip paintbrush and paint over top of those words so you're tracing them onto your window. You're probably going to need to do a few coats of this. I had to do, I think, 3 coats to make sure it was covered really well. Depends on your paint. After you have all of the words painted on and they've dried, flip your window back over to the front side, and now you can take off the taped on words and also just clean off the lines you had originally drawn on and clean up the window. So the reason that we put everything on the back side, so the lines and the words, is so that you have a nice clean surface to draw on. I've seen quite a few of these where people put stuff on the front, and I didn't like that because when you go to clean off what you had written, you'd be running into lines and tape. And so I wanted a clean surface that I could spray down and clean up and just start over fresh the next month. So once you have everything cleaned off, your window's all ready to use, you can put on the month each month and put in each days of the week. So I'm really happy with how my wall calendar window turned out. It was just like I was expecting it to, and I'm excited to get using it to be a bit more organized. I hope you enjoyed making yours and that it turned out good too. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, subscribe for more things like this, and have a great day and see you on the next one.